Hi, my name is Catherine. I am the youth service librarian here at the library, and today I have 3 books that I would like to share a little bit about with you. So the first one is called Those Kids from Fawn Creek. It is by Erin and Trotta Kelly. It is a book about a group of kids who grow up together in Fawn Creek. Fawn Creek, Louisiana is so small that the same 13 kids have started in kindergarten and gone all the way to 7th grade together. Nothing new ever happens. Well, except when Remy Dean moved away. And that wasn't a bad thing because she was so mean. And then the new girl shows up and she is different. She wears a dress every day. She wears a flower in her hair, and her hair is long with the biggest curls. It is so beautiful. Every girl there is so jealous. And the new girl's from New York and Paris and Istanbul. She's been all over the world. She is a breath of fresh air on a hot Louisiana afternoon, and she changes everything she touches just by being there. This is a really good book. It's all about coming of age. It's all about learning how life isn't all about the smallest things or the biggest things. It's just about growing up. The other book I want to tell you about is one of my favorite books. It is called The Library Fish. It is by Alyssa Satin Capucelli. She is the woman who wrote the Katy Duck series, and she also wrote the Biscuit series, so you may have read one of those books. This is a lovely nod to libraries and how they just incorporate the community in what they do, and how the community loves to find books and educational opportunities at the library. So the library fish is found on the library steps by the librarian, Mr. Hughes, one day, and he isn't sure what kind of fish she is. She's not a fish from the river, she's not a fish from the lake, she's not a fish from the sea or the ocean, but he tells her, hey, if you like good stories and you like learning, then you're in the perfect place. And she gets named the library fish, and she sits on the counter and she greets everyone who comes into the library. She watches what they bring back, what they check out, and she loves, loves, loves stories. And one day, Mr. Hughes doesn't come to the library. Nobody comes to the library. Library fish looks out the window and it is snowing, and it is snowing so hard that there's a blanket of snow over everything. So the library is closed for the day. But like Library Fish says, the library may be closed on the outside, but it's not closed on the inside. And she takes off on an adventure around the library that is so fun and exciting. You will love this book. And the last book I want to tell you about is one of my favorite new books, and it is called Negative Cat. It is by Sophie Blackall, and it is about a little boy who asks his parents for a cat for 427 days. And on that 427 day, they finally say yes. And he goes to the pound and he finds the cat of his dreams named Max. And Max is so unimpressed with his new family. Max does nothing except stare at the wall and gets the name Negative Cat from this boy's older sister. And then Negative Cat starts to do every negative thing he could do. He claws things. He poops where he shouldn't. He makes huge messes, and he's mean. So mean that his family calls the shelter to come and get him. And that just sends this poor little cat lover into a tizzy. He goes to his room and he starts to clean his room, and he writes his grandma a letter, and he reads to the cat. And when the shelter lady comes and finds to take the cat away, and she finds this little boy sitting on his floor reading to the cat, and Cat Max finds a home. It is a wonderful book and a great nod to Wanda Gog inside it. You'll love it. Have a great day.
Hello, New Ulm. I'm Leroy Harris, the Programming and Technology Services Librarian at the New Ulm Public Library, and here with a couple more book recommendations for you. This time, I've got several books from our new adult nonfiction section. First, 20 Myths About Religion and Politics in America by Ryan P. Burge. He is a researcher that specializes in taking data from other researchers and putting it into visual format, graphs and charts and things like that. And so his research has been shown in a lot of different formats and news media over the years, but he really wanted to put out there information for people that would be easy to understand about the difference between people's stereotypes and assumptions and what actually is going on in terms of these topics that are pretty big in a lot of people's minds. And so definitely give it a read. A lot of great information. You'll definitely be surprised by some things, and definitely make you rethink about the way you view those topics. The second one I've got is called The Sleep Fix, and this is by Diane Macedo. So she's a news correspondent, and she suffered from insomnia and wanted to find a way to fix that. And so she did a bunch of research, worked with a number of different medical professionals and other types of scientists, and put together this book with a lot of really practical application kind of sleep things, as well as a lot of the science behind different troubles that people have with sleep. So definitely recommend this one, very helpful. Make sure you come by the library, enjoy all the great things that we have, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is April Lighty. I'm the library director here at the New Ulm Public Library. I'd like to share a few of the favorite books I've read recently. I've kind of been on a kick where I've been reading a lot of books about scammers, especially female scammers. I was very intrigued by the story of Anna Delvey, the fake German heiress who scammed a lot of people in New York out of money, and there's now a show on Netflix about her called Inventing Anna. So that inspired a few of these reads I'm going to share with you today, as it is a very popular topic right now in fiction. The first of these books will be very familiar to you if you're familiar with the Anna Delvey story. This one is called Cover Story by Susan Rigetti. This is the story of Laura Ricci, who dropped out of NYU, and she wanted to be a famous author, but she kind of was struggling with her path to get there. She was thrilled to get a internship at Elle magazine, but kind of was relegated to the beauty closet sorting out mascaras and lipsticks, and didn't feel like her career was getting very far until she met Kat Wolf, who becomes kind of a mentor for her at Elle magazine. Kat is very glamorous, she's wealthy, comes from a wealthy family, she's very intriguing to Laura, and she invites Laura to become her ghostwriter when her internship ends at Elle magazine, and Laura accepts. The complication is that Laura has no place to live and no money, because you don't get money for writing a book unless you get an advance or have a book deal. So the solution for that is Kat has her come live with her at the plaza. And so Laura is sucked into Kat's world. They're ghostwriting, hanging out. Basically, Laura's whole world has become Kat. And she starts to see some of the cracks in Kat's persona, and things devolve from there for Laura. So this was a great novel, very closely modeled after the Anna Delvey story. Quite a page turner, but I think the ending will surprise you. So that is Cover Story by Susan Rigetti. The next one I wanted to share is called Lucky by Marissa Stapley. This one is also about a female scammer, but this woman is more of a grifter. She's kind of living hand to mouth off of some of her scams in the Vegas desert. She thinks she's made it big with her boyfriend after they've finished a $1 million scam, but then he runs off with the money and she is out of luck. So she is on the run, hiding from police, trying not to take the fall for their biggest scam yet, when she finds a winning lottery ticket and has to figure out how she can cash in this ticket without getting arrested. So this is definitely a page turner. I read this one in one sitting. I think you could too. Very entertaining. Also has a lot of heart because she's trying to figure out who her family is. You get a lot of backstory about how she learned to grift from her father, but she never really knew who her mother was, and that becomes part of her journey as well. So that is Lucky by Marissa Stapley. The last one I wanted to share is called Seasonal Work by Laura Lippmann, and this is a collection of short stories about scammers, criminals, A lot of them are really rotten characters, but some of them are really human and recognizable. Laura Lippmann usually writes crime novels, kind of a sun-drenched noir, and this is a little bit of a departure for her, but still some mysteries, some grifters, some scammers. It's a lot of fun, a great collection. So if you are not always a big fan of short stories, this would be a great one to kind of give short stories a try. A really fun collection. We have lots more books about scammers and con artists, including true stories about Anna Delvey and other con artists here at the library. Stop by, give us a call at 507-359-8331. We'd be happy to help you find these and other stories. I also wanted to share that our summer reading program continues through July 31st. So stop by the library with your family. We have reading logs, programs, prizes, crafts, all kinds of events happening this summer. You can also look for more information at our website, www.newulmlibrary.org. We'll see you next time. Thank you.